Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome two of our favorite All-American heroes, Mary Lou Retton and Kerry Strug.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's how the Republican National Convention opened at Madison Square Garden in New York City. It was September 2nd, 2004, the fourth and final day of the convention. At the end of the evening, President George W. Bush accepted renomination. But at the beginning, leading the Pledge of Allegiance, the convention heard from two Olympic legends, Mary Lou Retton and Kerry Strug. Mary Lou Retton rose to fame at the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. She became the first American woman ever to win the gold medal in the all-around in women's gymnastics. She also won a silver medal in the vault, and she won bronze medals in the uneven bars and the floor exercise. Kerry Strug delivered the most dramatic moment of the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. She sprained her ankle, but still completed a vault. Her performance assured the first all-around gold medal for a U.S. women's gymnastics team. All that background leads to three questions. The first, for political junkies, name something that happens every 4 years. That's right, National Political Party Conventions. The second question, for sports junkies, name something that happens every 4 years. That's right, the Olympics. And the third question, for fans of this podcast, name something you get when you combine the conventions and the Olympics. That's right, you get this week's episode of C-SPAN's The Weekly, because every 4 years it keeps happening. Olympic champions show up at national party conventions.
Hi, I'm Susan Swain. This summer, I'll be on the air from Milwaukee and Chicago for C-SPAN's live gavel-to-gavel convention coverage. It's been a mainstay of our network since 1984. What has changed in recent years is C-SPAN's funding, now challenged by the many homes who have opted to cut the cord. This summer, an anonymous donor is generously helping support C-SPAN with a matching gift campaign. Every dollar given will be matched up to $25,000. Please consider giving to support our no-commentary convention coverage and all of C-SPAN's public affairs programming. To learn more or to make a donation, find us at cspan.org/donate. Thank you.
We open with Olympic gold medalists leading the Pledge of Allegiance at a Republican convention. For balance, if not the balance beam, let's go to a Democratic convention. 4 years later, another gold medalist, the same sport, and the same pledge.
Delegates and guests, please welcome 2008 Olympic gold medalist, gymnast Shawn Johnson, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's do another one of these. This time, the 2012 Democratic Convention. A different gold medalist, but still the same sport and the same pledge.
Delegates and guests, please welcome Olympic gold medalist Gabby Douglas to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
In 2012, Gabby Douglas became the first American gymnast to win team and individual gold medals at the same Olympics. She also is the first black athlete to win the Olympic all-around title. Now, the 2008 Republican Convention in St. Paul. This time, the Pledge of Allegiance became a group effort. A team of 8 Olympians opened Day 4.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem, and the invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 8 United States Olympians who represent more than 30 years of American leadership at the Olympic Games. Through their hard work and dedication, these individuals have made America proud. Ryan Berube. Mitch Gaylord. Brittany Hayes. Barbara Higgins. Larson Jensen. L. Logan. Marcus McElhaney. And John Neighbor. Please join them in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
4 years later, at the 2012 Republican Convention in Tampa, an even larger collection of Olympian champions showed up, not to pledge allegiance to the flag, but to say wonderful things about Mitt Romney.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 3-time gold medal Olympian and the first American to ever win 5 medals in an individual event in 5 consecutive Olympic Games, Team USA's Kim Rhode.
Thank you. I have had the good fortune, the amazing blessing, to represent this great country as a proud member of Team USA at the last 5 Olympic Games in double strap skeet shooting competitions. I won my first gold medal in Atlanta in the summer of 1996, and I just returned from the Olympics in London a few weeks ago with another gold medal. This was one of a record-setting 104 medals won by Team USA, including 58 by women, which is the most ever. I think it's safe to say we showed the world that women of America are a force to be reckoned with. I am honored to share the stage tonight with a handful of Olympic champions. Allow me to introduce them to you. Dan Jansen, an American favorite throughout 4 Olympiads and gold medalist. Andy Gable, a 4-time short track speed skating Olympian and a silver medal winner. Rowdy Gaines, an Olympic Hall of Famer and 3-time Olympic gold medal winner. Leanne Parsley, a silver medalist in the women's skeleton in 2002. Noelle Pikus-Pace, the 2007 skeleton world champion and 2010 Olympian. Bill Schiffenauer, a 3-time Olympic and Olympic bobsled silver medalist in 2002. Jimmy Shea, the only 3rd-generation Olympian winning the gold medal in skeleton in 2002. Jean Racine Pram, a 2-time World Cup champion bobsledder and 2-time Olympian. Scott Hamilton, an American icon, 1984 gold medalist, known for his backflip. Christopher Delvin Young, an American Paralympic alpine skier who won 2 gold medals and 2 silver medals. Derek Parra, a gold and silver medalist speed skater in 2002. Mike Iruzzoni, captain of the 1980 Winter Olympic U.S. hockey team that defeated the Soviet Union in the famous Miracle on Ice. Walked into the Olympic Games in Atlanta as a wide-eyed 16-year-old to the moment a few weeks ago when I heard our national anthem played in London as a seasoned veteran. I've seen our country both prosper and more recently falter.
By the way, you heard mention of Olympic medalist Derek Parra. He was on stage to endorse Mitt Romney. At the 2004 Republican convention, Mitt Romney cited Derek Parra. At the time, Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts. 2 years earlier, he headed the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City.
I saw the character of our people when I ran the Olympics in Salt Lake City. I asked speed skater Derek Parra what had been his most memorable Olympic experience. It was not winning the silver medal. It was not winning the gold medal. It was carrying the tattered flag that had flown above the World Trade Center on September 11th into the opening ceremonies. We had expected cheers from the 60,000 person audience as the flag entered the stadium. Instead, total silence, complete reverence. Derek maintained his composure as the national anthem was sung, but then the choir surprised him by singing a reprise of the last line. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? And then a gust of wind lifted the flag in his hands. Derek said it was as if it came from the countless men and women who had paid the price for America's freedoms, a breath from above that stirred the hearts of those of us below who will always remember them.
Speaking at conventions isn't just for Olympians who win the gold. Silver medalists have addressed conventions too, like Matt Kafari. The Iranian-born Greco-Roman wrestler won the silver medal in 1996 in Atlanta. At that summer's Republican convention in San Diego, Matt Kafari led fellow Olympic athletes on stage. During his remarks, he placed his medal on Christian Saab, a victim of the Atlanta Centennial Olympic Park bombing.
America wins in the Olympics because every Olympic athlete has a dream. Just like every American has a dream. And Senator Dole, we know your dream is gonna come true in November. If I could help it, one humble Iranian-born American, everybody else gonna help it too. You're the best man. This is what America's all about. That's why I'm proud to be an American, two-time Olympian. I'm proud to join you tonight as a Republican. Thank you. I'm not worthy. This is a special time for me. I brought a present for President Dole and Vice President Kim. And I would like to recognize one of the true heroes of Atlanta, the Centennial Park bombing victim, Christian Saab, and his friend, Lenny Mitros. These are the good friends of mine from Ohio. These are the true heroes. These are good Republicans in support of President Dole. They wanted to be here to show support, even in crutches. USA, all the way.
Here's another silver medal winner. From day 4 of the 2008 Republican Convention, Brian Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a great American athlete, a man who exemplifies the strength, rigor, and humility of the American spirit. By starting strong, winning his opening event, and never relinquishing the overall lead, he captured the gold medal in the decathlon at the 2008 Olympics. He also won the silver medal at the 2004 Olympics. Please welcome Mr. Brian Clay.
Aloha and good evening. I am proud to be a gold medal winner representing the United States of America. But my proudest accomplishment is being a dad to my son Jacob and my daughter Catherine. For me, family values and family mean everything. My priorities are God first, family second, track third. I can tell you that without faith in God and my support of my family and friends and my strong work ethic, I would not be standing here before you today wearing this gold medal around my neck. Now, politicians and athletes have a lot in common. Both are competitors, challenging one another, and neither wins on his or her own.
Because of the pandemic, the 2020 Democratic Convention was held virtually, but still, there was an Olympian. Megan Rapinoe, the soccer player, helped lead the United States to a gold medal at the 2012 Olympics in London. On day 1 of the 2020 convention, she led a conversation with frontline COVID responders. Here's actress Eva Longoria with the introduction.
So right now, let's hear from a champion for our frontline workers who also happens to be an Olympic champion and a World Cup champion, Megan Rapinoe.
Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Rapinoe, and I have the distinct honor today to host a conversation with 4 of our frontline workers here in America. We should rename them heroes, absolutely.
Now, if they ever held a competition for most legendary Olympics moment at any convention, here's one that might take the gold. August 13th, 1996, day 2 of the Republican National Convention, it's Newt Gingrich's turn to speak. House Speaker Gingrich pulls Olympic gold medalist Kent Steffes on stage with him. He's wearing his medal. Kent Steffes' sport, beach volleyball. Newt Gingrich's takeaway, freedom.
Let me just start by saying somebody I wanted to introduce to all of you, a good friend of mine and a good friend of Bob Dole's, somebody who many of you will recognize, Kent Steffes, who won the first gold medal ever given in the Olympics for beach volleyball from California, is right here with us. Kent is an example of what freedom is all about. A mere 40 years ago, beach volleyball was just beginning. Now it is not only a sport in the Olympics, there are over 30 countries that have a competition internationally. There are some 13 states with 25 cities in America. And there's a whole new world of opportunity opening up that didn't even exist 30 years ago or 40 years ago, and no bureaucrat would have invented it. And that's what freedom is all about.
Finally, this podcast has been about Olympic champions speaking at party conventions. One more piece of business. Since the Summer Olympics and the conventions happen every 4 years at nearly the same time, do presidential nominees mention the Olympic Games in their acceptance speeches? You betcha! Here's a brief mention in President Bill Clinton's speech in 1996, the year the Olympics were held in Atlanta.
That is why the flame of our Statue of Liberty, like the Olympic flame carried all across America by thousands of citizen heroes, will always, always burn brighter than the fires that burn our churches, our synagogues, our mosques, always.
And a far lengthier Olympics riff in Ronald Reagan's 1984 speech in Dallas when the games were in Los Angeles.
Holding the Olympic Games here in the United States began defining the promise of this season. All through the spring and summer, we marveled at the journey of the Olympic torch as it made its passage east to west over 9,000 miles by some 4,000 runners. That flame crossed a portrait of our nation. From our Gotham City, New York, to the cradle of liberty, to the cradle of liberty, Boston. Across the Appalachian springtime to the city of the big shoulders, Chicago. Moving south toward Atlanta, over to St. Louis, past its gateway arch, across wheat fields into the stark beauty of the Southwest, and then up into the still snow-capped Rockies. After circling the greening Northwest, it came down to California, across the Golden Gate, and finally into Los Angeles. And all along the way, that torch became a celebration of America. And we all became participants in the celebration.
And President Reagan was only halfway done talking about the Olympic torch. The Olympics will be held in Los Angeles again in 2028. And at the Olympics that year, presumably, more Olympic athletes speaking and more Olympic rhetoric from the politicians. By the way, in his acceptance speech, Ronald Reagan's Democratic opponent Walter Mondale didn't mention the Olympics. Neither did Bill Clinton's Republican opponent in 1996, Bob Dole. Both lost. And one more Olympics mentioned in an acceptance speech, another one that got big applause, but for a different reason, because America had no Olympic athletes. Here's President Jimmy Carter in 1980.
And I join wholeheartedly with the Congress and with the U.S. Olympic Committee and led more than 60 other nations in boycotting the big propaganda show in Russia, the Moscow Olympics.
And now, a bonus clip. At the top of this podcast, we heard a series of Olympic athletes leading the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginnings of Democratic and Republican conventions. Some were too young to vote. Now, at the end of this podcast, we'll hear a pledge at the end of a convention. Instead of being led by an Olympic athlete, it was led by a presidential nominee. The 1988 Democratic Convention in Atlanta. Michael Dukakis didn't specifically mention the Olympics, but the son of Greek immigrants ended his speech by reciting the pledge taken by athletes at the ancient Olympic Games.
And as I accept your nomination tonight, I can't help recalling that the first marathon was run in ancient Greece, and that on important occasions like this one, the people of Athens would complete their ceremonies by taking a pledge. That pledge, that covenant, is as eloquent and as timely today as it was 2,000 years ago. We will never bring disgrace to this, our country. We will never bring disgrace to this, our country, by any act of dishonesty or of cowardice. We will fight for the ideals of this, our country. We will revere and obey the law. We will strive to quicken our sense of civic duty. Thus, in all these ways, we will transmit this country greater, stronger, prouder, and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. That is my pledge to you, my fellow Democrats, and that is my pledge to you, my fellow Americans. Thank you all very, very much.
That's it for this episode of C-SPAN's The Weekly. We won't be showing the Olympics on C-SPAN, but when you watch and listen to the 2024 conventions in their entirety and without commentary on the C-SPAN networks, you just might, as you often do, spot an Olympic athlete or two. Oh, by the way, you might have noticed that we didn't include any athletes from the Winter Olympic Games. Smart observation. We'll do that podcast in 2 years. For now, thanks for listening, happy searching, and a special music selection to play us out. We noted earlier that Bob Dole didn't mention the Olympics in his 1996 convention speech. That's true, but he did mention the Olympics, a lot, at a gala convention event at a different location. It was the same day as his speech. He was joined by his running mate, Jack Kemp, many Olympic athletes, and the iconic Olympic theme song.
We're going to go for the gold. Jack and I are going to go for the gold, and that leads me into a very important and a very exciting announcement. Tonight I brought with me some very special friends. They too know about going for the gold or the silver or the bronze. So please join me in welcoming our Olympic athletes who are here with us tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, first, swimmer Lisa Jacob, wrestler Matt Ghaffari, wrestler Rodney Smith, wrestler Lou Rosselli, another wrestler Gordy Morgan, from the handball team John Keller, another handball player, Rick Oselic. Diver, Mark Lindsay. And a member of the fencing team, Harriet King.